Welcome, property investors. This is the Building in Perth podcast with your two hosts, Chris Holland and Tony Hyde. If you're a property investor or you're curious about investing in property in Western Australia, this is the podcast for you. The reason for that is we're not going to hold back. We're not going to sugarcoat things. We're certainly not going to bullshit you, and we're going to exploit everything that you need to know. Every month we're going to have special guests on, industry professionals, and then we're going to release an episode every single Monday. So you're not going to miss anything. So please stay tuned, like and subscribe so you never miss anything, and enjoy.
Hello and welcome to the Building in Perth podcast with your host Tony Hyde and
Chris Holland.
How is it good? Oh, so you're just back from your holidays, Chris?
Back from Bali, mate. How was your holiday?
I was just back from Bali as well. It was pretty good.
How good's that?
Done absolutely nothing.
How good's that?
Just sat in
4
there,
days of just rest and relaxation.
And 1 or 2 beers.
A couple of beers.
How's it
Not
here?
more than a couple.
How's it here?
That's fucking unreal. For all you listeners, get on YouTube and check this bad boy. That
Hey.
was purely for Bali.
Yeah, Philly Valley. It's brilliant. So today I just want to talk about some of the challenges we're facing that we're still facing in the building industry, primarily probably around land, because if we don't have land we can't build, and then setting some expectations around what you're getting for your dollars at the moment. And we've got multiple clients now that want to be in certain areas, and we're just like, your borrowing doesn't get you there because the borrowing's down a little bit because of renting, and over east just absolutely investors buying up the land, right? Because Perth's still really cheap, right? So
Yeah.
I want your insight in this, Chris. Like what the biggest thing, the struggles about land at the moment.
So I'm helping a couple of clients, one specifically, Shaniqua, my sister, my homie, my boo. She came to me with a very tight budget, which wasn't tight 2 years ago. That's the sad thing. So she's got a borrowing capacity of $430,000, where 2 years ago we could literally go take your pick. Anywhere outside of 20 Ks from the CBD, 5 minutes from the ocean, you could nearly take your pick.
Also, your borrowing capacity would be near the 480 mark, 490 as well.
100%.
So
the
it's
borrowing
relevant.
capacity is coming down as the interest rates go up. So it makes it really hard for us. And unfortunately, this isn't just Shaniqua. This is most clients. They focus on the house, and it's really, really hard because, you know, they've got these design ideas of what they want with island bench tops and stone bench tops. An island in the kitchen, stone bench tops, big walk-in room, somewhere to sit, do their makeup, etc., which is fine because that's the whole point of building. You get the house that you want, but we got to scrap that, unfortunately, at the time being, because we need to look for the land. So on that budget, I mean, 420, 430, we're looking for 180K maximum for the block. Now, there are these blocks available, but unfortunately right now it's Yanchep, it's Mandurah, it's Pinjarra, it's not Hammond Park and stuff like that.
It's not even Hilbert and Haynes anymore. It's
No.
It's not even Byford at the moment.
No.
Like it's these places
Brabham.
they're literally flying up, and you think, oh, we're not going to live there. Go and have a drive around these estates and see, Jesus Christ, the amenities and everything that's around that.
They're beautiful. They're just 10 minutes or 15 minutes further than where people want to be. But the truth is, in 5 years' time, that's what people's not going to be able to afford, and they're going to have to be another 15 minutes from that place. So,
And it's like, so, you buy established at 430, 440, fine. They're still in these areas, but you're still going to have to drop another 20, 30, 40 grand into it to get it how you want. Painting, flooring, carpets and that weighted building. So it is all relevant.
last week we spoke about a couple of investment packages, one in Balga and then there was one in Southern River, and they were sitting about the 430, 440 mark. That was only a week ago that we recorded
And
the podcast.
gone.
It's gone. Yeah, it's gone. There was 4 blocks available, turnkey packages. We packaged them up for 430 grand, and investors have bought them already. So we couldn't even sell them to our Perth market. We've actually now sold them to our investors, which is really frustrating because ultimately we're here to help everyone. But I do have a bit of more loyalty to Perth builders, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Perth clients, sorry. So that was only a week ago. We had 4 blocks available, 2 in Balga and 2 in Southern River, and they're now gone.
It's crazy. It's a time we get to package up these investment packages. We're not even getting them on our website
No,
or anything.
that's right,
And they're
no.
gone. We'll send them to everyone. They're like, oh, we've got it. Oh, we'll send them to the real estate agent. And he's like, I've got 3 guys for you.
Yeah.
Because as soon as we put our mark on it,
Yeah.
it's like, I want to work with you guys because
Yeah.
you've got X, Y, Z, because
Yeah.
we spread the risk.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's the market. If we don't do it and get, we've still got to make money, right? We've still got to survive through what we're doing. So it is tough.
I'm sick eating as he got in.
And that's ridiculous. I know. But it's like, And it's also going back to what Lee said, episode 2 or 3. And if you haven't watched it, then you're disgusting. Get watching it, all right? Because we've told you after this episode, right? But it's Lee said, maybe it's time you don't think about your dream home right now if you can't afford it. Get something that's going to get you in the house, not paying the rent.
Stop paying rent, yeah.
Rents are coming up. They're still going
100%.
up, right? And then get to the point where, right, okay, I've got my house. It's not exactly where I want to be, but where's your focus in 5 years? Can you get equity renting that? Can you smash down your mortgage and start putting a bit of a plan? Because, by the way, guys, this is the way we used to do it back when I first bought my first house in Scotland. And
Everybody.
all that, you know, we just had a really good turn there where you could get 450 and you could get everything and live like in Quirana or somewhere close to the beach. You go, yeah, it doesn't work anymore, right? But and it's the land prices are holding because at the end of the day they're selling.
Yep, and selling quick. So the average 4x2 in the average 4x2 established house at the moment is 22 days. The average 4x2 size land is less than that. I don't have the exact statistics, but they're actually going as soon as they're titled, they're disappearing. And majority, I just spoke to Dale from Terra Novus, one of the best land agents in Perth, and he literally is selling 80% of his blocks of land to over East investors because the average house and land package in Brisbane. Oh, by the way, Brisbane Property Coach on TikTok. Please go and follow Ebony. She's amazing. She gives out heaps of content. You have to follow us, obviously, if you listen to this. But Ebony's brilliant. But go and listen to her. Like, we done a live last week, and we're doing a live after this podcast at 11 o'clock. And we're talking about the differences in land prices over in Brisbane as opposed to here. So a house and land package, an average house and land package in Brisbane at the moment is $750,000. The average in Perth is $550,000. So it's no wonder that these over East investors are just buying blocks of land immediately because it's 200 grand less and they're getting the same rent return. So it makes complete sense. These guys are being smart and snapping it up because it's so much cheaper than over East. Our Perth market and our Perth audience that's listened to this, you have to be proactive, okay? Yep. And it's unfortunate because a couple of years ago, I would tell people not to rush in. I would actually say, no, let's get you a better deal. Let's go to this estate. Let's look at this. Let's negotiate. Remember the times when I could fucking knock 10 grand off the block of land and stuff like that? Now it's actually you're paying more than what it's advertised for just to secure it. So please, 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 if you're in the hunt for a house and land package in Perth at the moment, try not to take too much time on the land. Once the land's secured, take as long as you want. You know what I mean? Take your time. Choose the right builder, like we always say. Hammer on about it. Ask the hard questions to the builder. But today's about land, and land is just disappearing so quick.
Yeah, and it's like I've got a multitude of clients, and we're stuck at the land phase trying to get them over because, and unfortunately, I'm having to set expectations versus reality, and I don't like doing that when they're walking out with their tail between their legs, feeling a bit down, but we said at the very start of this podcast, even when we started the House and Land Expert down in CC West, we'll never lie to you. We'll tell you be transparent. Yeah. Transparent?
Transparent as well.
Transparent.
We'll be transparent and
tomato. And
you for Paisley?
Thanks. I'm a Rangers fan. But that's exactly what we want to do, right? Make sure that you walk away and go, right, oh, hold on a minute. Because then goes to get a house and it's going to be this price and this area. If it's a dream home, then maybe you need to keep renting or doing something else, or you need to build up to it. This is a harsh reality of it. All those good deals are gone, and people are talking about, oh, we're going to flood the market with rentals. The only reason it'll look like there's no rentals or there's excess rentals because people have got the rentals they want and they're living in it, and it'll settle in the price. But you're dreaming if you think the rental market is going to drop down and the prices are going to. These are now here to stay. These are the prices we're going to be paying.
It's never coming down.
Interest rates will slowly come down over the next 18 months. Yeah. I reckon next Tuesday.
Even this month, even this year, apparently, a few guys that I follow, investors and whatever else, and mortgage broker advisors are saying that it will come down.
So as we're probably a couple of weeks behind posting this, about 2 weeks. But as of today, Tuesdays, the bank are releasing. I think there'll probably another interest rate on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So we were talking about 2 weeks ago, or when you rate.
Today's the 3rd of February.
Yeah. So on the 8th, 7th or 8th there. So there'll be another one, and I think that what I'm hearing is that'll probably hold if it goes up. If it doesn't go up, that's a great news. That means that they're starting to think about starting to bring it back down.
There's $6 billion. So there was an article that I read. There's $6 billion worth of mortgages going up, $6 billion value by April this year because of people that were fixing their interest rates 2 years ago, like myself. So mine falls off. I'm on a 1.89% interest only. I know it's like foreign now. So I held that in October, I think it was 2 years ago, and I held it for 3 years. So October this year, mine's is going to go up. So I'm in for a shock in my own property, you know what I mean? But I made the decision to lock it in while it was at its lowest, and that's allowed me to get a bit more capital to then reinvest. So rather than smashing principal off my current loan for the last 2 years, what I've been doing is putting aside money each month. So now I'm in position to reinvest that and have another house, probably in the next month or two.
Yeah.
But it's going to hurt me. It's 100%. It's going to hurt me, just like all you guys that are having these interest rates. We're no different, even though we know the inside no. Things are, unfortunately, it's turbulent times. But all I can say is land prices are not going to go down. And what you said, Tony, there at the start is it can't be any more true. You're not going to get everything you want in your first home anymore, unless you're a cash buyer, unless you've been really savvy with your money, you've saved up, and you've got a 600-700K budget. Unfortunately, we're just going to have to suck eggs a little bit and get into the property market. But think of it this way: every year that you're renting, you're spending between $25,000 and $32,000 on average. That's an average rental in Perth on someone else's mortgage. So someone that's jumped the gun before you, that's what's happening. Interestingly, if you buy this house or build this house as an investment only, you can claim the depreciation, and you can actually claim the interest component of your mortgage. So not the principal and interest only. So it's a tax-saving opportunity. So for FIFO workers that are pretty smart, that can come back for the week off or 2 weeks off and just rent a room somewhere, or rent with one of their friends, or stay with mum and dad for that week, maybe suck it up for a year. Build your own house, put it out as an investment only. Get the equity in there, because prices are going to keep increasing. Save up a bit more money, and then you can maybe buy your forever home if you want to spend a bit more. But at the moment, man, we can't hold land. There used to be a thing where agents like us could call and hold blocks of land, and I would have the power, because of the amount that we buy and help our clients. I could hold land for a month. So I would basically go, right, my client Shaniqua, for instance, we want this block. We're just finalizing the design at the moment. Can we please hold this for 2 weeks? After the 2 weeks expires, I could go, we're almost there. We are almost there. Can I hold it for 2 more weeks? So I could hold a block of land for a month, and our agents like Lee and Dale and stuff like that, they would give us that on hold for a month, where no other agent can come in and buy it. Now, you can't even get it for a day, mate.
Nah,
it's like first
4
one
hours
in.
is gone.
Yeah,
4
that's
hours is
right.
gone.
So I can't stress enough the importance of the price of land, the interest rates. It's all coming in. The good thing is the build times are coming back, so there's a lot more clearer expectations with what the builders can and can't offer. The price rises during construction have gone now, so builders are back to normal, but the infrastructure on the land components are still going up, and it's just not slowing down.
I think we're probably
Unfortunately,
on the builder thing. I think we're about 6 months away from the build team starting to really shock.
Back to
maybe
under
60.
a year,
I think so. But so. And because land's so scarce, and I know that we've got exclusive stuff coming to us, and I know a place north of the river, 10-15 minutes. I'm not saying naming the name because I don't want else to know that I've got this
Say the
stuff.
name.
I'm not saying it. We're not
Say the
saying it.
name.
I told you yesterday. But it's a big shout out to Richard Cull from Satterley, because he's given us this exclusive stuff.
What
3
an
months
operator
away.
Richard is,
he's
man.
unreal, mate. He's unreal. We're going to do a podcast on the Southwest, and wait to see the stuff that he's got down there.
Yeah.
And the investment opportunity Southwest, we'll package this up and we'll get this to you guys. It's unreal.
Southwest for you Eastern States investors, that's Margaret River. Obviously, you've heard of Margaret River. That's where you buy all your wine from, the wineries. But just north of Margaret River, we've got Dunsborough, we've got Delia, Busselton, Bunbury. There's a big hub in there, and there's a huge investment opportunity. Even if you want to change your lifestyle, you know what I mean? It's a bit quieter, but now that there's a new airport in there, taking people direct to the mine sites, for a FIFO worker, if you only got a week off, why do you need to live in Perth?
Precisely.
Why not live down in Busselton and fucking chill out for that week?
Your other 3 weeks, Airbnb, rent it out. There's a massive hospital in Bussell.
That's next week.
Anyway, next week. But so this suburb, the land's going to be 700, 800K, right? And I tell you, it will not stay, because investors don't care about the cost of something. They only want to know what the ROI is. And this is going to be bloody huge.
Just touch on that again. You just said the land's going to be 700K. What do you mean by that?
It's just going to cost just to buy the land.
Oh, I know the one you're
67,
talking about.
right? It's going to be that.
North
and that's
of the
not
river.
including the build on top of it. And you're going to have to build a beast in that area, right? Because it's to keep it in line with the region.
The median price,
and the people. But there's going to be money. There's opportunities there. And we've got exclusive to nearly all the blocks. So
I think
in
there's
touch.
5 blocks, is there?
there's
I
more.
bet you they don't last more than 10 days.
I won't even get to package them up. I'll just be going, hey mate, and he'll be like, yeah, what's the ROI? Boom, I'm having it.
Done.
Easy.
Done.
But they are there, and it's beautiful.
Look, land is coming back. I think at the start of our podcast, sort of 12, 13 weeks ago, what a journey it's been, Tony. It's been so happy and funny. At the start, we were actually talking about there's not many titled blocks of land. So that is changing. Blocks are now becoming more and more titled. You're not having that risk of buying an untitled block. The developer taking an extra 6 months, build prices increasing. That's all gone. So we do have ready stock available here in Perth. If you are a cash buyer, for instance, we have blocks ready to go that you can just buy. We can get the plans done, building permit, and we can get a slab done in 3 months' time, right? But we have to be proactive. You have to secure these blocks. Even if that means you're putting down $1,000 deposit, which is the average to hold a block here in WA. So you can't hold it, but you're actually committing to the contract. We can extend the finance. So what we can do is we can push settlement out for 60 days instead of the 30-day term. And then we can take our time designing a house. However, I really want you guys to come to us with a block of land, and then we'll give you a budget, base budget, on the house price, and that will be from your lower end builders to your more expensive builders and everything in between. So we can work that out and give you a total sort of weekly repayment figure. But with interest rates constantly changing and land selling so quickly, it is hard. So I am trying to create a bit of urgency for anyone in the market and thinking they're going to find a hot deal in the next month or two. Unfortunately, that's just not happened. We're relaunching our website, www.thehouseandlandexpert.com. And it's actually taken us 3 months longer because on one of our pages on the new website, we're putting an investment tab, right? And it's going to have the 6 best investments in Perth available. It's not launched because every time we go to launch it, the land's gone. So we're making up these beautiful house and land packages, and it takes a lot of time and effort, mostly from Tony, to get all the facts and figures so you can go, this land, these inclusions, this house, this much money, this is your ROI. This is what you're going to bring in every year. This is your tax deductions and your depreciation that you can claim. We work all that out for you. But we're not even getting the chance to fucking post the thing online because they're actually all selling.
I'm literally going to you.
It's actually scary.
Hey, I've got this one in Balgo to suicide development. And he's like, cool. And I'm in the middle of doing it, and he's like, sold it. And I was like, what the fuck, man? I'm like, give me a chance. I was like, so.
Big shout out to my client Tristan over in Melbourne. Thank you for that. He actually bought 2 of them.
Right.
He's got enough equity in his property over there, so it was Tristan that bought these 2. But that's what I mean. Tony's working on putting these packages together. They're obviously our house design, so we've got all the figures and stuff lined up. But the time you actually get because we can't give you not facts, we have to give you facts. We'll lose transparency with you guys if we don't give you facts. So by the time Tony's actually written this actual article up, which takes 3-4 days, you know, we're not fucking copywriters and stuff like that. We're just normal blokes. By the time 3-4 days, and he's told me about this, I've called an investor and he's bought it.
I know. I remember I walked away from a real estate agent and I was talking to about land, and I phoned my guy over there, and he's like, Tony, put me something together. And within an hour, he's like, yeah, that will do it. We'll just take it. And I was like, he's like, I don't care, just take it. It sounds good. So they are there, but that's how quick it's going.
Yeah.
And going back on the land thing and not waiting. So I've got a client right now, and I'm in real negotiations because he just wants to buy the land, sit on it. Problem is, right, and this is true, and this is what working with Sergio at Movement Finance, great broker, by the way, finance broker. He's had clients that bought the land and waited a year to pay a bit off, and then went in there and they can't get the borrowing capacity now. It's all gone. He's like, build the house, get it done, and done.
Yeah, because guys, at every interest rate that goes up, which as you all know, it's happening every second month, your borrowing capacity goes down. So what that means is if you earn 100 grand a year, let's say the bank will lend you 450k, right? So you secure a block of land for 200 grand. You've got a 250k budget. If you wait 3 or 4 months and the interest rates go up twice, you can no longer borrow the extra 250. You can only borrow, let's say, 240, for instance. But that 240 or 238 could be enough that the builder actually can't then build it. And the thing is, if their prices are going up because their volume of builds are going up and they're getting a bit greedy, they might require 260 now. So all of a sudden, that block of land that you've done, you can't build a house in it because you just can't build houses for under 250 grand anymore.
No,
you just can't. You actually physically cannot do it. No builder can do it. So.
No. And the other thing you got to think about, guys, is about so you got the land and not taking it and picking the right builder is. You've got like about a 2-year window to get this house built, right? And then the banks get really, really nervous because you're drawn down on it. Remember, they're only getting interest only, which is fine. But you're still not on a fixed rate. You're following the variable rate.
Yeah.
So if you sign up on house and land with a bank and get approved at 1.9, 2.2%. So every time your house is built, you're maybe on a 4.5%, 5% rent.
Easy.
And I have that on good authority that that's what they're dealing with 90% of the
all
time
the
right
time,
now.
yeah.
And I know that for a fact. So
Yeah.
this is the things that, people say, podcasts, this is why we're here, this is what we do. We go and find this information out. The people we sit down with weekly to find this stuff out, they talk to us, is unreal. That's why guys like Lee from Parcel, Dale from Turnovers, Richard from Satterley, these three of the biggest land developers come to us and go, hey, what can you do for us? We need your signs on it. They want us because we've got that much, we're doing that much volume, guys. But we still want to help Perth. We still want to help you build your home.
Of
but
course.
We're just giving you the build. If all you can do is get the land and put the base of a house, like the bricks and mortar up, essentially.
Yeah.
We'll set a plan with you and show you how to budget out and get the next levels, and then stuff that you can actually do yourself and things like. We will help you right to the end. And if you don't have the budget right now, we'll work with you for the next year to
2
help
years,
focus you.
whatever.
I mean, how many clients have we got? Fiona, 2 years ago, she's now just put pen to paper. Now, not got the greatest deal, but she had to get a financing.
Yeah.
Still the happiest person in the world because she's got now.
Of course.
The first time in life, got her own little bit of
She's not
piece
paying
of stew.
mortgage, she's not paying rent.
So
Yeah.
there's it's there, and we do pride ourselves that we do want to help.
Yeah, I think so, because, again, repeating myself, these over East investors and even the FIFO workers now are getting a bit smarter with it, stereotypically, don't take offence, lads and females, but the jet skis and all that shit are gone. I think they're now realising, right, okay, I'm renting a room for $250 a week. I may as well just build my own place. Mm-hmm. Build a dual living home. Build somewhere with 2 front entrances, 2 kitchens, 3 en suites, for instance. Rent one side out for $300 a week because it's a 1% vacancy rate on rentals. So rent half your house out for $300 a week. Your repayments might be about $550. You're then only paying $200 for your 3x2 inside the same roof, 2 different hallways, everything. I've just got something in my eye. There's so many ways to be smart, but ultimately it comes back to what this podcast is about today: is the land and securing it as soon as possible. So this is not our style. We've never been high pressure salesmen. We've never been, well, not salesmen. We give advice. That's the truth. We give advice. We give you all the advice. Then you can make an educated decision, and you'll never come back to me or Tony and say, "Hey, you guys never told me that," or you miscommunicated that, or I wasn't aware of that. It's the opposite. We give you all this advice so you can make the decision.
Yep.
But one bit of advice, or the most important bit of advice I'm going to tell you right now, is it's not getting cheaper. So if you are in the market right this minute, like Shaniqua, my boo, please, 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 as soon as we find something, have 2 or 3 options, especially if your budget's that tight. Secure the block of land. We can then take our time on the design. We can take our time, 60 days, 90 days, whatever we need. That's a long time. But in saying that, just like your scenario, you said there, interest rates go up, your borrowing comes down, you might not be able to build that house. So really is a bit of pressure now, I feel, to get somewhere, and it's not going to be your forever home. I don't know anyone who bought a house first or built a house that still lives in that house.
Yeah. No,
You
and that's
create
the thing,
equity and you move on.
Absolutely, and that's the thing. I'll wait 2 years till the prices come down. You're dreaming, mate. They're not going to come down.
Not anymore.
Builders aren't going to bring their prices back down. They're going to stay. What you might do is get a little bit more for your money, like upgrade and stuff, maybe.
Yeah.
But that's still 18 months away.
Correct.
You're not doing it. You give a standard rate. You're not offering it because you can't.
No,
Otherwise, you go
can't.
bust.
You can't do it anymore.
It's where we're at with it. All right. So I think it was a real kind of short one today. We just want the only reason we jumped on this one today, throw it in, is we've been getting smashed with it and with the clients we've had. Listen, we've find it hard to find the land in their budget. Not that we can't find land, it's the land in their budget, right?
I think we should come in over the weekend, clip and edit this one, and actually try and push it out as early as this Monday.
Yeah.
So if this is the 3rd today, 4th, 5th, on the 6th,
Get this
we'll
launched.
yeah, I think so, because it's like that many inquiries at the moment. We just can't help.
Let's get it done. Let's get it done, and we'll get it on Monday. So then we can say. So disregard my Tuesday comment about it'll actually be right before the. I think will be an interest. I think it'll be raised again one more time, which is shit. But
You're
I think
the better
they'll do it one more
bad
time.
news today, mate.
I know, but I don't like it. Good news is though, over this weekend. And I'll give you an update. Next one is I coach ice hockey. I coach the women's Perth Inferno. Well, I'm the assistant coach with my brother, and we're going to stick it to cancer this weekend on Saturday night.
Well, that's tomorrow.
That's
so
tomorrow.
I'm going to predict the score. We've already won. So Perth Inferno win by 16.
60.
I mean, that's quite big in ice hockey. But
if we can win by
fuck it,
2,
we're gonna beat them.
we're playing Saturday and Sunday. But yeah, I'll give you an update. We can't wait. It's pretty good, so I'm pretty excited. So that's good news for us.
We are
Smash that.
sponsoring. We're sponsoring the event. We're going to be down. I'm going to go down and watch. I love coming and watching Tony play. I don't often watch his team play, but I like to watch the big man get stuck in and whack people. That's the best part about ice hockey. And if nobody's ever seen it, Tony's the nicest, friendliest, bubbliest guy. But when he gets on the ice, he's a cunt.
I like to draw. If you watch the show in Netflix called Ice Guardians, they were the enforcers.
Yeah.
So their job was to go out and protect the good players. That was my job back in the day. So I was an okay player, but I could drop the gloves and I could beat up
Scrap
the guys
on.
that were good. So like, if you're a superstar, I was there to protect you. So anyone touched you, I'd break their face.
You knocked them.
And then after the game, buy them a beer. 'Cause I'm a nice guy.
Of course, because that's what happens. Tony, just before we close up, I just wanted you to do a very quick case study with our recent client, Bianca, that reached out to us. Can you just tell me what her borrowing was now to what it was a year ago with your broker, Johnny from Wealth
Finance.
Finance. Big shout out to Johnny. Tell us about what she does for a job, please. Don't tell us her salary, but what she does for a job. Is she full-time, part-time, casual, and what's the difference with her borrowing
So right now
in
she
1
came
year?
to 1 year full-time employee at
Bunnings.
At Bunnings, and decent
Good
salary,
job, yeah,
good
good
job,
job.
full-time. Just got promotion at supervisor. Was it cool? Should be alright. I sent it to him. Borrowing capacity is about 300k. A year ago would have been 420.
So just to clarify, 300k, you can't get anything in Perth anymore.
I don't
It's
think you can buy
impossible.
established for 300k. If
No,
I'm honest with you,
not now.
You're buying a shit box.
No, you can't buy. You can't
You can buy
buy
a shit box. I'm honest with you.
You can't.
In 420, last year we probably could have done something.
4x2.
4x2. Well, no, probably 3x2 Forestfield, Mahala State.
Yeah.
You get those little 6.5 frontages.
Yep.
3 of them we've got in there.
Yep.
And every client loves them, especially you're single and they're a great location. Now, that's about 440, 450, 460. And there's none left.
It's painful. It's
So
painful.
this is what we're up against. So like, you just feel sorry. I'll continue to work with Bianca over the next 6 months, a year.
Yeah.
We don't leave our clients unless they say I'm done. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? We'll keep working with you, help you put a budget plan together. How do we get you up to the next level? What do you need to be, or is there guarantors? But even still, like, having a guarantor, it doesn't matter because you can't service a loan. So it gets really fucking.
And I'll finish this with a comment I got. So I've got a client, Terry in Parkwood. Okay, so she's got a block of land, nice 724 or something like that, corner block in Parkwood. We're looking at designing her house at the moment. She made a comment to me a couple of days ago. So we're going through the design process and whatever else, and I gave her an estimate. I said, look, I think the house is going to be about this or this, roughly, based on experience and other houses that we've signed up. And she goes, oh my God, that's like 200 grand more than what I was expecting. I was like, what were you expecting? She got 180 grand. And I was like, for a 4x2 fully finished house on the corner block? No, unfortunately not. So it was about 380, right? And she goes, oh, well, that's good for you then as a builder. Like, obviously, you're doing well. And I went, no, that's the thing. Builders are not doing any better than what they were 10 years ago. People have got this conception that because these prices are going up, the builder's making more money. If anything, it's actually the opposite. Builders' margins have dropped at the moment. So builders aren't making more money. The land people aren't making more money. The material people aren't making more money. It's just inflation. It's called inflation. A bottle of milk 20 years ago, how much was that? 60 pence, 60 cents or whatever? What is it now? $2.40? It's everything in life has inflation, right? So just because prices are going up doesn't mean that us guys, builders or land agents, and not everyone's making any more money here, guys. It's literally just how the world works. Prices will always go up in every aspect of every market. Fucking bananas. Remember the fucking craziness with bananas during COVID?
Lettuce as well.
Lettuce, all that. So just think of it in that scenario. Think of it in a smaller scale. Your lettuces, your banana, everything's going up in price. Your fuel is going up in price. Obviously, that's heavily influenced by Vladimir. But other than that, like, the builders aren't making any more money. So all the land agents, no one's actually benefiting from this. It's just what's happening
Just
in the
passing
world.
on the costs. That's
Correct.
all they're doing. Passing on the
Please
costs.
understand, the builders aren't getting filthy rich with this, or the land developers. It's just how the world works. Because if you ask your mum and dad 30 years ago how much was their house and land package, it was 65 grand in Leeming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just let that sink in. Literally, have you seen that meme where they let it sink in? It's the best meme ever.
Just because your mate 5 years ago built in Hammond Park for 380 doesn't work anymore, right?
Nah,
it
it
does
just
not
doesn't.
happen anymore.
So, guys, sorry, bit of a bad one, but it's also very true and honest. The heading for this podcast is going to be land prices or land shortage or why is it so expensive?
Yeah,
Okay,
right.
so the answer is Over East investors are snapping at our blocks of land here in Perth, as they should, because it's 200 grand cheaper and they're taking advantage of it. So if you're in the market at the moment, please don't hesitate anymore. Reach out, we'll help you, and let's do it.
Yeah, and just on that, if you're looking at these further out suburbs and you think, I don't want to live there, come and talk to us. We'll tell you why they're good investments. There's a podcast out there, Infrastructure. Go and listen to it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why. And if you're not sure, I'll take
Just
you
give us
out
a
and
call.
I'll take you and show you them and let you meet the land agent and show you the stuff that's happening, all right?
So I'm going to give $5,000 to the person that comments first. Do you like the plant? That was my idea, to try and hide all this stuff down here. So if you didn't notice it, now you've noticed it. And if you're not watching on YouTube, why not? Please like and subscribe, share to all your friends and family for the chance to win a free holiday to Bali next year.
Just to caveat, this is 5,000 Chris Holland dollars.
Yes, it equates to 50 pints. Oh no, it's fucking $500. Oh, fuck it, I love a pint.
Not too much, though.
Not too much.
All right, okay, guys, thank you very much. Like and subscribe, like Chris said. And did you notice that Chris interviewed me a little bit there? Jesus Christ, we're all changing roles.
Let me
here.
know if we like this.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.